Thanks for joining us for the MWG Podcast. This is episode
18.
Okay.
Right. Maybe that was too long of a pause.
Yo, that was funny.
You just leave that in there.
I have no clue as to what episode it is, but I don't care anymore because
Is it UI?
You just know it's season 2 and we're deep in it. And this
We're just
week,
going, guys.
yeah, we're just gonna go with this as the intro.
I don't need numbers. Who counts?
Yeah. So this week we're gonna cover the PS5 and XBOX Series X launch.
Got next gen launches, baby.
Next gen.
already.
We're the next gen, man.
Where was I last gen? On PC, dude. I forgot. It's so crazy. I skipped an entire generation.
PC says I don't even have gens. I'm just on PC.
They just exist. Games just come out, and I'm just like, oh, here we go. Man, but yeah, here we are.
We're here, man. It's been a day, a couple days. How many days has it been? Who knows? Because you guys don't know when we record.
Yes.
Okay.
I almost made a mistake and said the number.
You gotta make sure we rub it in the viewer's
It could have
face.
been a couple hours.
We gotta rub in the ambiguity.
It'd be day 1 of the PS5 launch. Day 2 of the Xbox Series X launch. Who knows?
This could be a lost episode and releasing this in 2022.
Right before the PS5 Pro launches, you know?
Okay. Oh man. So Moss, you have the PS5. I don't have a PS5. Nice does not have a
get
PS5.
a PS5. Okay.
So
I've been playing it for a couple hours now. Or a couple of days.
okay. When exactly did you get it? When did it come out again? I forgot. A couple days, a week ago? Less than 5 days ago?
November 12th is when it came out.
Yeah, it's just been a few days.
It's a lifetime.
Oh. Come on, Carl.
All right, we're censoring that one. The opening stays. That statement is out.
What did I say again? I completely blanked out.
The exact amount of days.
The exact days.
Oh,
Exact number.
I was like, dude, did I curse? I was like, oh man, I ruined the PG filter, but it turns out I just ruined the ambiguity.
After you said, gotta keep the ambiguity going.
In fact, he said it's a fundamental.
We have to catch that one too.
Best podcast, right? We're
This
podding,
is the
boys.
best. This is the best
We
podcast.
podding today.
Absolutely podding.
Oh,
I completely lost track of what we were talking about. Oh, okay, so it just
PS5.
comes out. You have it. So what's
do.
so what's that been like? So from the time you unboxed it to now, what are your thoughts?
And
What
so-
transpired?
So let me just give you a little background about launch day.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So I pre-ordered my PS5 a couple months ago. I talked about that on the pod already.
Yep.
So I didn't have any problems getting it at Best Buy. But I was trying to get a second one because I was going to be a scalper. You know?
Oh,
I'm
you were
gonna
in
profit.
there.
I was in there.
Oh, he was in there.
this
He's
is
putting
why-
on the record.
I will not be doing this again. So anyways, launch day I go to GameStop and I get there at about 9:40ish. All right, and it's supposed to open at 10.
Mhm.
I get there, there's only one person ahead of me. So I'm like, oh, we're in there. I might be able to get a PS5.
Okay.
And it's this like older lady, not older, she's probably like 40s. And her son looks like he's like mid-teens.
Mhm.
And we're talking a little bit, and she's like, "Yeah, I was here on Tuesday trying to get the Xbox, but there was a bunch of people that were talking about selling it online." And I was like,
Oh, okay. Shame.
didn't mention that I had a PS5 on pre-order already. So she's like, "Yeah, wow."
How peculiar.
So yeah, I just thought that was a funny story. But anyway, so we're waiting there. It's unfolding, talking for a little bit. Another person shows up, and then by 10 o'clock, there's 4 people in line. Three of us, and somebody that actually had it pre-ordered. We're waiting at 10 o'clock. The lights are on in the store. The gates are still down. The doors are locked. What the heck's going on? 15 minutes goes by. Some more people show up in line. Other people are asking like, "Hey, what's going on?" Because they didn't know the PS5 was coming out, I guess. But they're coming to GameStop.
Casuals.
They're filthy casuals, right?
Casuals. Not that we discriminate.
I do.
That's
Because we're deleting shit today.
got to stay in. What do you mean? That's comedy.
Comedy style, guys. So we're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
It's another 15 minutes goes by. It's 10:30. I'm like, dude, what is going on? Ain't nobody showing up yet at the store. Like everybody's checking the the opening windows and all that stuff, the calendar, what time they're supposed to open. Everything says 10 o'clock. Like normally GameStop's opening at 12 o'clock because of COVID, but because of next gen launch, they're opening at 10 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Another 15 minutes goes by. It's 10:45. We're like, dude, it's getting cold. I'm thinking like, man, I could be setting up my own PS5 right now. And I'm sitting here and this dude ain't opened the store yet. 11 o'clock finally hits, right? So we've been waiting for over an hour and 20 minutes at this point. The guy comes up and he says, "We have 0 extras available. All we have is what was pre-ordered."
Uh-huh. Oh, was there a groan in the crowd?
A little bit.
Oh, okay, not that bad. Okay.
And I'm just like, dude, you could have. Okay, because I'm assuming they had to have known that A, they weren't going to open up at 11 or at 10 o'clock like it said, and B, they didn't have enough to sell to general public before they closed on Wednesday night. They obviously could have left a note that said, "Hey, we don't have extra, and we're not going to be open at 10 o'clock."
Okay.
Man.
Like, we're in the midst of a freaking COVID virus pandemic. Like, that's just responsibility at that point. Like, just,
Right.
like, people are going to line up for this thing.
Right.
Just be like public decency, just let people know, hey, we're not going to have enough. There's no point in you guys lining up. And if you have yours pre-ordered, come at 11 o'clock when we're going to open instead of waiting in line, not social distancing, even though you're going to wear masks.
Right.
So that's the thing that really was frustrating about that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just left and went and picked up mine.
This man is in line. Yeah. A lot of people were expecting the best, and they got the worst case scenario. This man is in line, like, oh man, now I just gotta get my pre-order one instead of the extra one.
So I drove over to Best Buy, picked my stuff up,
okay,
and then I had to walk out the store and I had to talk to one of the employees about something. And I see one of the guys that was in line at GameStop walk by, and he looks over and he sees my PS5 on the ground.
He like,
I don't know if he realized that I was like the second guy in line over there, but I just thought that was funny. So yeah, I got a PS5 on launch day, guys.
Nice.
That's good, man. You're one of the fortunate few. Cause I know Twitter, there was an uproar on Twitter. All the memes were coming up. Dude, and people at work were like, "Man, I tried to get the PS5, but I got shafted." And I'm like, "Yikes, bro!" But I'm coming home to the PC. But it's still unfortunate.
I don't have to worry about this.
No, this is none of my problem. But I will be getting a PS5 eventually.
Nice.
But the graphics card that everybody wanted was sold out.
Oh, that's tragic.
Wait,
what are you
there's
talking
a
about?
new graphics card that came out like around the time that the pre-orders were coming through for next gen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was a body bag for the body bag.
Yeah, so there you go. PC has its own stuff that they got to worry about.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
What do you mean? Just settle for less. The one that performs 5% as good, 95%.
Don't tell PC gamers that they're not trying to hear it, dude. They need the extra 5 FPS.
What are they gonna do with it?
That maximum output, man.
Go 3 and 16.
Oh my gosh! That reminds me of a meme that I seen last night. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
The girl goes, "I waited in line to get my man a PS5 just for him to go like 0 0-35 or something like that.
Yeah.
In Call of Duty.
Yeah, I've been seeing those memes. I've been seeing those memes for
Anybody
like a
want
week.
free PS5? It's like, oh my god.
So funny. It's
Some of the
it's
PS5
hilarious.
games have been hilarious.
Yeah, Tony.
Oh,
Next gen has been it's been quite a ride for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely. I have full intentions of getting a PS5. I'm pretty excited for what I've seen. As for the hardware, I like the hardware. I like the collection of games that's launched with it. I'm excited.
So
Oh,
with
yeah.
the hardware, which one
Mhm.
is better? Because my cousin was asking me this. I mean, I asked you guys earlier in the week. I'm sure some people out there don't know.
I'm
what
not-
I've
Explain the
heard-
specs.
From what I've heard, the Series X might have like slightly better specs.
Hmm.
I don't know enough to like yeah, it's X amount % faster than the PS5 versus the Xbox X. I don't know.
I think your
5% is
average-
key. 5%
Oh.
is key here.
Okay. I think your average gamer. I mean, if you ask me, I'm not much of a techie either. But if you ask me, your average gamer wouldn't notice.
I don't think
Like,
if
if
any
any-
of us will actually notice.
Yeah, you really wouldn't. Like both consoles are pretty good. Like the specifications on both are pretty impressive, and consoles are getting closer and closer to PC all the time, which is a great thing. It's a good thing because I think everyone should be playing at like a super high FPS and be playing a pretty game at the same time, because like once you experience it, you can't unsee it, and it's so pretty. Like it's like me playing, because it's like me going from 60 FPS to 120 FPS. Like this is just words to like a lot of like casual gamers, but a lot of people will see the difference. It's just a lot prettier, and a lot of people value what their game looks like. Some people don't care, which is great, but yeah, but there's some games like The Last of Us, God of War, Demon Souls, like that's just you can appreciate it in all its glory when it's just running super smoothly, and I think it's great that consoles are headed in this direction. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So Moss,
Yeah, you guys asked me my first impressions, basically.
yeah, you've been playing some games.
Yeah, so before we get to the games, just like going over the controller and the system itself.
Oh, let's hear it. Yeah.
I like the controller. It's got a little bit of a weight to it,
Mhm.
and it feels more like a traditional game controller now, like in the sense that like I feel like the Xbox and the Switch Pro controller are kind of like what the standard controller is at this point.
Mhm.
Like PlayStation's always had its own like controller, and it's always basically been the same thing, just a little, like modified for the next console it's on. But this PS5 controller feels more like the standard format that the controllers are now.
Mhm.
But it still feels like a PlayStation controller. Like the D-pad still feels really nice. Like
Okay,
I can
that's
still
good.
play like I prefer, if I play fighting games on pad, then I prefer using the D-pad.
Mhm.
And PlayStation D-pad always has felt really good, and I feel like it still feels like that with the PS5. And it's got like a nice like weight to it. Like it doesn't feel like it's like super light like the other PlayStation controllers have felt. So yeah, I really like the controller. The rumble feels pretty good. The triggers are they kind of remind me of the GameCube triggers, except it feels like you got to put a little bit more force to actually put it down.
Okay.
But outside of that, I feel like the controller is going to do like a really, really good controller. The analog sticks feel really good. It just has like a really nice feel to it.
Okay.
The system itself, man, is huge.
I saw the pics, dude. It's probably my entire torso. Actually, it's probably bigger than my torso.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
like
man.
it takes up a lot of space. Like I don't know. I still have I'm still deciding how I feel about it. But right now, I kind of don't like the design of it. Like now that I see it in person, like I don't know.
You're talking about the aesthetically, or just how big?
Like,
Okay,
just-
it's how it looks. Okay.
Yeah, just the way it looks. I'm not really a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's up with the wings?
I don't know. But have you seen the Seto Kaiba head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Seto Kaiba head.
I think
perfect.
if you get that, it might make the system more appealing.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. It's just an oddly shaped system to me.
Uh-huh.
And it's really big. I had to put it horizontally, because vertically it's too tall. It gets in the way of my TV.
Dude, it's probably as tall as my tower.
Yeah.
Actually,
so
it might be taller. I don't know, dude.
It's pretty ridiculous how tall the damn freaking system is. But yeah, it's really nice and quiet. I like it. Like, it looks cool and stuff when it's on. It just takes up so much space. Like, I almost feel like it's obnoxiously big.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you said it was like comically large.
It is comically large, and not that I have a particular issue with that, but I guess if you're trying to save space, not the best thing.
Yeah, like, I had to put it on the top of my like my TV stand, basically, like where all my entertainment center is. I have to put it on the top of it where there's no like shelving or anything.
Right.
So, and the other thing I don't like about it, this is like the biggest con I have for it, is that the freaking memory space, the hard drive space, is terrible.
Well, how much?
No, how much?
You get 667 gigs
Huh.
to use.
Okay, it says here that it comes with an 825. You have. Oh wait, sorry, you're right. 667, which is free for you to use. You're right.
Operating system and all that.
Yeah, I think you can like delete like the Astral Playroom, whatever it's called. It's like one of the default games that come on there.
Yeah.
That's like 10 gigs. You can take that off.
Oh, that's uninstalled.
It's like...
Free.
Oh, you got to get the platinum trophy first, and then you can
The platinum trophy.
Get them trophies, man.
At least this time you can fit Call of Duty and other stuff.
You sure?
Yeah, Call of Duty is 180,
I don't know, man.
I think.
Cold War
180?
Cold War is 200 gigs.
Oh, it's 200?
That's what I was...
Yeah.
I was about to say. Cold War just came out. Are you
Cold
sure?
War is 200 gigs. Yeah. Not fun.
That's just the campaign part.
1/3.
That's just the campaign.
Oh, yeah.
You need another 100 for the multiplayer.
Can you imagine?
I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine you bought Cold War and you're like, and you just, that's all the space you get, and you're just like, all right, dude, buy a couple more games and that's it.
A couple more games you can't even play.
Oh man.
That's the 667 gigs. I think I filled mine up already. It's mostly with just PS4 games that I haven't
already?
beaten. Or actually, I put all my fighting games on there, so it took up all the space.
That's good.
Okay. So wait, when you say all fighting games, it's actually backwards compatible?
It is to PS4.
Well, it's close enough.
So luckily, like, PS4 had, Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3 on it already. So
What about the Xbox? It's backwards compatible as well?
looks like it's completely backwards compatible all the way back to the original Xbox, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched Max Million's video, but the quick switch on there is really cool.
What is it?
He can like quick switch between games that you played. So like if you're playing, like he did an example where he was playing like 3 different fighting games basically, and like he paused one and just go straight to the other one. Don't like no loading or anything. Just
Really? Which console is this? Which console can you do
the
this
Series
on?
X.
Wow.
Oh, you can alt tab it on the Xbox?
Yeah.
That's out of control. I'm still getting a PS5, but I'm not gonna lie, that's
Like,
kind of.
I was like, whoa, I might have to to try this out. Like, I want to try the Series X. Just that feature alone looks really cool. Plus, it's fully backwards compatible, which is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about when that would be practical for me. I doubt it ever would be, because I don't do more than one thing at the same time. But that is pretty cool. I guess if you
practice a combo in Marvel 2, then switch over to Marvel 3.
And then Marvel 3.
Like
and then Dragon Ball.
Right, like you're inspired. You're like,
man.
You're inspired. You're like, gotta tab all, dude. Gotta try this in another game.
They're trying Street Fighter 5. Oh wait, they don't have Street Fighter 5. I forgot.
Wait, what? There's no Street Fighter 5. What do you mean?
On Xbox.
You hate to see it. Sorry, it's all right, Xbox. You're not missing that much.
But they should have advertised that feature a little bit more. I mean, that's a huge.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool feature.
Okay.
It's my first time hearing about it too.
Oh yeah, watch the video. It's really cool.
Thousands of.
It looks like no freaking delay switching between them either. So.
Okay, so it is backwards compatible with the original Xbox and the 360 in it. That's pretty cool. I think that's cool. You know, and you said PS5
Like if
is
I
only...
actually had Xbox games, that'd be really like a lot cooler.
Yeah,
but I don't have any.
So for the PS5, it's backwards compatible with PS4 only.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, I skipped an entire generation, so what that means is I can just go back in time and play a lot of things I missed. I missed virtually everything, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But the PS4 is probably going to have a bunch of sales on their games too, so we just cop them and pop them right in.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've seen like some of the Xbox Game Pass. That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feature.
Yeah, and then PlayStation's has PS Plus, right?
Yeah, so the PlayStation Plus collection is that's pretty cool, especially if you didn't play a lot of the PS4 games that are on there. So some of the big ones that I've seen were God of War, Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. That's something I need to go back to. I'm a huge
Resident Evil 7.
Huge Souls guy. 7? Okay.
I'm trying to think what else is on there. Persona 5 is on there.
Oh, really? Not bad.
Yeah, I think it's like, I want to say 20 games. I can put on the list that they all come free if you have PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that didn't really buy too many games for the PS5 and, run through them relatively quick, you got access to 20 PS4 games that are like top notch.
Dude, this is not bad. They let's see, Uncharted 4, Last of Us Remastered, Detroit Become Human's good, God of I already said that. I'm trying to find one you didn't say. Crash Bandicoot, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been playing that because those games are hard. Oh yeah, Monster Hunter World is another one that I really want to play.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World's a great game. I'm so happy that's on the pass. I think more people need to play Monster Hunter. That game's incredible.
Yeah, like I know a lot of these were already available for PlayStation Plus users at one point in time, but if you didn't grab it then you don't have access to it. So now they're on there. I don't know for how long, and I don't know if they're adding more games to it, but hopefully they will because this is a pretty good. It's like a pretty good amount of games that you can get to, and there are a lot of like really big games.
I'm hoping that the performance.
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, 15, yeah. I'm hoping a lot of the performance boosts from the PS5. I hope that a lot of these games will play a lot smoother, play a lot better. Frame rate would be a lot more impressive, and that's tight, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've heard PS5 actually does play everything better.
I did go and play all of my the fighting games that I had on there, and it feels like everything's running a lot smoother. But I also had a PS4 Pro, so I don't know how much of a difference it made.
Yeah, that too, because you had a really good PS4 too. Yeah, so
yeah. Okay. Like I know, like I was talking to my friend who has a PS4, like the OG PS4.
Yeah.
And games like the Avengers were running terrible on it. I don't think Mortal Kombat 11 is working or running the best either. So, yeah.
So some examples. So Days Gone, a really good single player game, is now at 60 FPS in 4K, which is awesome. God of War is at 60 FPS, which is great news because I'm getting God of War.
I might have to go back and play that game.
You have to, because now it's gonna look 100. It's gonna feel like way smoother when you play it now. It's gonna be great. Tsushima.
And I have to get ready for what's it called? God of War Ragnarok.
Right, the replay. You gotta read. Let's see. Tsushima's at 60 FPS now. Genshin Impact. You can play Genshin Impact on the. What?
It is backwards compatible. I mean.
Okay. I did not play Genshin Impact.
Dude, this is a great list of games. that's on the PlayStation Plus collection.
Yeah,
That's good because PS4 when that launched, there were 3 games, and it was not fun.
I don't remember what the PS4 launched with. Now I'm curious as to what it launched with.
I remember it once with Knack and Killzone.
Knack. That's
I don't know anything. Like
Knack.
I don't remember anything else outside of those two.
You had me at Knack.
Battlefield, but it was the PS3 version of Battlefield, and you could freely upgrade it.
That wasn't backwards compatible.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing about the PS4. I had all these PS3 games that I had just bought because the PS3 was still like releasing games pretty steadily around then, and I just didn't have access to play them unless I had my PS3 up.
Oh my goodness, the titles is the launch title is pretty awful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I will say this might be one of like the best like launch titles that have been available for a long time.
Yeah, that's good. With Miles Morales, Valhalla,
Godfall, Demon's Souls,
Fortnite,
Bugsnax, the IP of next gen.
Bug Snacks. We got to get into that one too.
No spoilers, dude. I gotta avoid all the Bug Snacks spoilers. I'm excited.
Spoilers.
No spoilers. I saw like maybe 5 minutes of gameplay and I was okay, gotta stop watching.
You know me, I'm not a fan of spoilers, so
Me neither.
All right, so no spoilers, but does it play well? Like, does it feel next gen?
Yeah, Moss.
It's a very simple game. So I'm like, I don't know what next gen's supposed to feel like anymore because like we've gotten to a point where it's like games are pretty good where they're like, you know, just want things to be a little smoother.
Yeah,
and,
everything feels.
Like, I don't really know how much more you can enhance gaming.
Everything feels like a Marvel now. It really does. It feels like everything feels like it's been groundbreaking, and it'll just feel like it's going to continue to be groundbreaking. And I'm just I'm so used to it now.
And like, it's a game that's not designed to be like super advanced controls and all. Like, it's not a super. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's not like a control heavy game, you know?
Okay.
I feel like it's more narrative driven than it is like mind blowing gameplay and things like that.
Well, like let's say when PS2 came out and it came bundled with Jak and Daxter, does it have that same kind of feel like, wow, this is cool, this is fun. I can't believe they're able to do this. That's what I mean, like that same wonder factor, like, wow, this is great.
I don't know, man. It's pushing next gen to the limit. No, I'm just kidding. It's very vibrant. I mean, like, I don't really. It's a very pretty game. I'll say that one. Like, it looks nice. I don't know if it's like super hard to render or anything. But it's a pretty like. I don't know. It kind of reminds you of like a nice looking Nintendo game.
Oh, nice.
Bugsnax, yeah. I'm just curious about the plot. That's all I really care about. I'm just interested in the plot. So I'm excited.
Yeah, like gameplay is pretty simple. Like it's not like intense or anything.
Okay.
I like the setting of it. It's a quirky game. I like it so far. I like that it's free on PSN because I definitely wouldn't have like. It's not a game that would have like ooh, I need to go buy this, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm glad that it was, you know, it's free for PSN Plus or PSN Plus or subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a game where it's worth playing. So far, it has like a Pokemon feel-ish, like a kind of like a Pokemon feel to it.
Okay.
Like without spoiling anything, because you know, if you watch the trailers, you've seen like the Bugsnax eat them, and like the characters kind of transform a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon, all the Bugsnax, like there's a whole hell of a lot of them, and they all say their name. And like part of the fun of it is collecting all the different Bugsnax, and like there's one I think it's called Charmello. It's like a butterfly. that's like a s'mores kind of.
Huh.
And it says Charmello, and it sounds like almost like
That's Pokemon.
Charmander, you know? I'm like, yo. So yeah, it's like a really quirky game. It's fun. It's like a cute game. It's something cool to like just kill a couple hours with.
Mm-hmm.
And the plot seems interesting so far. So like a kind of a mystery type of game.
Okay.
Good. That's
which
what we
I
like
wasn't
to
expecting.
see.
So that's another thing. Like I didn't know what to expect going into it. I only
Good.
seen like the one trailer.
Yeah.
So I didn't have like super crazy expectation or anything, and I'm enjoying the game.
That's good.
It's kind of how I go into games now anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to go in without expectations and play and enjoy it.
Okay.
So I'm liking the characters. I'm liking the aesthetic of it. Yeah, it's fun. The characters are pretty quirky, and they all have their own little personalities, and it kind of like delves into some interesting things so far.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm liking it.
Is there anything else that
That
you intend on getting any other games in the near future?
So I bought Miles Morales, and
you bought it? Oh,
installed
nice.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought the Ultimate Edition, so it comes with the remastered Spider-Man 4 or
Oh, nice,
Spider-Man
dude.
for PS4.
That's what I
It's
need.
remastered though, so I don't have any of my progress from the PS4 one. So I'm actually going to play through that before I go into Miles Morales, just because Miles looks like he's like so much more fun than Peter Parker.
Oh my! The game
so
is
I'm never gonna go back to
the first one.
Yeah, if I play Miles first.
This is crazy. The game is gorgeous. You know what gets me every time is swinging through the. You could do this in the PS4 Spider-Man, but swinging through the environment is incredible. It reminds me of Spider-Man 2 on
oh yeah,
the Xbox PS2 era.
So much prettier.
Yeah, no. Back then, it was a marvel to me. I was like,
oh yeah, that game was amazing.
Yeah,
that game was incredible.
That was like the Spider-Man of Spider-Mans until this game came out.
Yeah, like that was definitely groundbreaking. But yeah, looking at this, my goodness, I'm like in awe every time. It's a gorgeous game, so I'm glad you got it, dude. That's good.
Yo, Keith said it looks like Spider-Man should be on PS7. He said the same thing about Demon Souls, which I actually want to play too, but I haven't gotten it yet.
Demon Souls, yo, I'm in there, dude. I cannot wait to get angry at a single player game. That's what it does every time.
Boy.
Yeah, that's been my my PS5 experience so far. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what 2021 brings for the new games. Looking forward to beating the ones that I have right now. I think I'm like probably halfway done with Bugsnax right now. I could probably finish it by like tomorrow. So yeah, it's been fun.
So let's see. Let's take it. Well, we should talk about the Xbox. We can't leave the Xbox hanging. You guys know anything about the Xbox? I did watch it.
Fortunate thing, I don't know much about it.
I like the design. I actually like the design better than the PlayStation 5. I actually do like it seems like a reasonable size. It looks like a computer tower, which is perfectly fine. It's pretty compact, or at least a lot more compact than it's the other console.
Hey, did you guys see the fridge?
Oh, the Xbox fridge. Yeah, I love how it's real. That's the best.
What is this?
I like how they steered into like the criticisms or the memes of the design, and actually made it into a fridge.
Now that's the Xbox I'm buying.
Oh, you believe that?
No, I just sold.
Yeah, so they made a fridge to look like the Xbox because people were clowning it.
Okay,
that's perfect.
So I'm trying to see what the launch titles are for the Xbox. I don't see anything here that like.
I don't think there's really anything that's exclusive.
Yeah, at least for the time being. I'm assuming eventually, but
yeah, because Halo got pushed back, which I think was supposed to be a launch title.
Right.
Got pushed back, so
I mean, it's understandable.
But you have freaking 4 generations of systems to go back or games to go back to.
I like the controller. I like the Xbox controller a lot, actually. I mean, I do like the DualShock. I really do. But I do like the Xbox controller. It feels good. I like I have small hands, and I actually do like having a bigger controller, and they've always been a little bulkier, which is cool. And you were talking about the weight earlier of the the new PS5 controller, and that's a good thing. I like it.
I think it's a good thing too.
Did I tell you guys that I actually like the OG Xbox controller? I don't know why, but I like that controller.
The original one?
The tank?
Not the Xbox, not the small one?
Yeah, I'm talking about the tank, dude.
Oh, yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah,
that was my favorite. That was my preferred Xbox controller.
Yeah, people think I'm crazy for liking that controller, but I don't know why.
And it was a deadly weapon.
I mean, chucked it, yeah, you were doing some damage. You chucked it at someone. That thing was huge. My goodness.
You actually get could you imagine going to a tournament with that game or with that controller? You get salty, I'm sick of this.
Somebody's about
You're
to
hurting
die
somebody
for
with that
thing.
controller.
So I don't know if you guys knew about this, but one of the accessories for the Xbox, they have what's called the adaptive controller, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. Here, let me link it in our little chat here. But that controller was cool to me. We wouldn't be able to really utilize it, but as far as I know, I think if you are like a handicap gamer, or if you just have issues, using any of your body part, it's an accessibility thing. It's accommodating. Yeah, and I think that's cool. I've seen I think I'm looking at the webpage here, and a lot of the wiring is hooked up to various levers, various buttons, and buttons that that someone who is handicapped or someone who can't fully utilize their they can take advantage of that. And I think that's awesome. Too. Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's
that cool. There needs to be more things like this, just accessibility for people that have difficulties playing with just a standard controller.
That's amazing.
Yeah. This is tight, and maybe if you're just,
I feel like it should be a little cheaper than this, but controllers in general are ridiculously expensive. So
the Joy-Cons are like $80.
Treating them equally.
Yo, Joy-Cons are $80.
We're treating them equally. It's fine.
Yeah.
The PS4 controller is like $70. Right? This is like
the Xbox controller is how much?
The
this is
Elite,
cheaper than the Pro, right?
The Elite, like $180. What I was thinking with this is that if you're into that, because how fighting game players be like, they're really particular about their control scheme, and I guess if you have a special setup, you can use that sounds like hella work, dude. You just pull up the tournament with this adaptive controller, and with this adaptive controller, you got to plug in all of your gizmos, and then I don't know how that's gonna work, but I mean, hey man, the more the merrier, I say. So if you have a super exclusive control scheme, this might work.
It's just amazing how it works. So looking through it, it looks like every single button has the option for a 3.5 millimeter jack, so you can really customize how you do the setup.
Oh man, I just know I'm getting bodied by someone in Fortnite with this. Someone's got this going. They're in an unfortunate situation, regarding their body, but dude, it don't matter, man. They'll still beat you up in game. I'm like, dude, I'm kind of salty, but hey, I'm glad there's one more person in this world that gets to enjoy the game I'm playing. So.
Wow, that's really impressive from Xbox.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that's one of the cool things too. So I think, but yeah, I think regardless of whatever console you get, I think next gen is in a good place, at least performance wise. So it. I mean, for me, PS4, I just like the games better. That's all there really is to it. I mean, I don't think I've ever been anti Xbox. So
I mean, I have, but
Back when the console wars were big.
I grew up in the 90s where console wars were an actual thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And unfortunately, I was on the losing side.
I had the OG Xbox when I was growing up. I did not have a
Dude,
PlayStation.
that thing was huge.
That was huge. You know what's crazy is the PS5 makes it look like child's play, but but that thing was huge. It really was a tank. I'll never forget bringing it home. I was so excited to play it. It was just so heavy, and the controller was huge. Oh man, good times.
Yeah, I feel like the Xbox, the OG Xbox, and the PS3 were like cousins in the sense of like size.
Yeah.
Right.
PS3.
And PS5 was just like, nah, that's cute.
I'm just sad that I missed out on a PlayStation because there are so many RPGs that. I mean,
You saw on a lot of PlayStations, man.
yeah, PlayStation it had so many hidden gems, so many worthwhile titles. But yeah.
Oh, dude, it's hilarious. Real quick, thinking about like the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube era.
Mhm.
Just because the GameCube was such like this little tiny square box. Like it was literally a cube.
I mean, that's how Nintendo loves to do their consoles, though. They always have to have a gimmick.
Got the cube with the handle
Right.
that nobody ever used. The handle they actually carried around.
I'm
didn't
so
even
glad.
Remember that.
Right. The gimmicks are too crazy. I like how the
Gimmick
GameCube
was like the most impractical thing.
What was it impractical?
The little handle in the back.
Oh, like you're gonna carry the GameCube like that?
Yeah. Where are you gonna put the cords at? Come on. So I'm gonna carry this around on the hand by the handle.
I like how
and put the cord
compact.
somewhere else.
I like how compact it was.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That might have been the most portable era in gaming.
I remember bringing the PS2. I'd have to bring my PS2 to my friend's garage. That's when we would all go play.
Oh,
And then they
man,
had the
good
GameCube
times.
every once in a while, too.
Right.
It was fun. But I still think, like, as far as libraries, PS2 probably has the best library.
I can't. I don't even think I
PlayStation
could.
in general has one of the best libraries of all time.
I don't think I can even argue with that. To tell you the truth, I mean Xbox. To tell you the truth, the OG Xbox, it still had a good library. If you ask me, I actually
Oh,
had
yeah.
like, so many. But I think looking back, you guys might be right. I think the PlayStation I think the reason why is because of not just the mainstream titles, but the lesser known titles like the hidden gems.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, there were some hidden gems, and they were incredible. Like they're very ambitious, very different, and even if like not everyone knew about it, you knew about it, and you knew that. And then it's gotten gamers now like clamoring to play like really old school titles. So
Yeah, and the other thing about the OG Xbox is that a lot of the games that were exclusive to it, you can get on other platforms now. And so it kind of like it doesn't have that same level of exclusivity that Sony has. Like you can like some of the really good games like KOTOR, you can go and play on a different console. You can play Halo on PC, or I mean KOTOR you can play on your phone. Like Halo you can play on PC. The sports games were, I think, handled probably better on Xbox, but you're not going back to play the old sports games.
yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one of the things I also want to bring up is PlayStation Now. So PlayStation Now is kind of like the Xbox Gold Pass, I think it's called.
Okay.
But it's a separate fee from PlayStation Plus. If they can find a way to like merge the two together,
Wait.
kind of like
You got to pay for both.
mimic what, yeah. It's I think it's a monthly or annual subscription depending on how you want to go about it. But it gives you access to like a whole bunch of streamable PS3 to I think PS1 games.
Oh, really? Oh, wait. Actually, I was thinking like, oh, you gotta. That's kind of whack. But when you said PS1, PS2, I was like, oh man, honestly, it might be worth.
I had to double check, but
okay.
I know for sure it's PS3, and I'm pretty sure I've seen PS2 games on there. But yeah, like if they found a way to merge the two of them, kind of like the way the Xbox has it,
Mhm.
I think that would be more worth it. Because PlayStation Now, I think it's pretty expensive from what I've seen. Let's see. Yeah, let me just double check if it's got PS2 games available on it. Okay, so it's PS4, PS3, and PS2 games are on it.
Mhm.
Oh, and you can use them on PC apparently.
Right.
Huh?
Okay.
What the heck?
So PS Now has PS Now been around the whole time, or?
Yeah, it's been around at least since like 2014, 2015-ish. I know it's been around that long. Because I used it for like a month. It's actually not a bad service. I just didn't want to pay for it.
So where's Nintendo's version of this? That's a trick question and rhetorical.
Yeah, I don't know why this hasn't happened yet with Nintendo, because they've been doing like, if you have their online subscription, you get the basically get the NES and SNES Mini for your Switch.
Mhm.
I still feel like they should add N64 and Game Boy to Game Boy Advance games on there.
They really should.
That'd be a little too generous. Can't be doing that. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's not like they're giving you the whole library. They're just, here, some Nintendo games that we like.
Yo, you can get the PS Now on PC?
Yeah, I just seen that.
Oh,
I don't know what games are available on it, but you might want to check that out, man.
Oh man, shouldn't have shown me this.
So yeah, if they could find like a way to merge this and PlayStation Plus, that would be a much better bargain, I think.
Right.
And I would be down to do that.
Oh my
Since
gosh.
they don't want to give us freaking backwards compatibility.
Why would they do this? The library is crazy. There's so many. What is this, dude? Oh, this is not good, you guys. Oh man. Can you imagine going back in time and telling our past selves that one day there's just going to be a service where you just from the comfort of your home, you can just click a button and play it like
they're gonna know about that already. That's gonna be their life, their normal life.
That's
They could
wild,
just go
dude.
grab the CD.
God, that's in a CD. Oh my goodness.
They'll probably argue back with us like, why would I want to push a button? I have the CD right here.
Okay.
You know back then, internet was terrible too.
I was pretty foolish back then. I'd probably find some kind of way to. I'd probably have some kind of rebuttal. Oh man. You know what though? What's definitely has changed is that local multiplayer doesn't exist anymore. So
Bad.
so stuff like stories like, you know how like Naj was telling he'd bring a PS2 to his buddy's house. Yeah, there's just these consoles are so big, but you don't really go to anyone's house with a console anymore because you're better served better off playing online. Like, why would you go to a friend? So local multiplayer is just dead now. I mean, unless you play fighting games.
Are expensive as heck.
You play fighting games, but I mean, who plays fighting games?
That might actually be a problem now that I think about it.
Setups, right?
Yeah, if somebody's trying to bring the PS5, is there even room?
I will say the PS5 feels pretty light, but it just takes up so much space.
So, for like, a lot more mainstream tournaments or for more tournaments on a grander scale, they'd probably either they're running on PC or they really do just have the consoles at their disposal. But I see where it'd be an issue with locals, right? So I think with locals it can be kind of a challenge because it's so bulky, So I can see us using PS4s still. Like
might have
locals.
to.
Yeah, I might have to use like some PS4s.
Because it's the expensive
Oh.
part too. Like, let's say somebody brings their PS5 and it breaks.
PS5s aren't even available, so
Yeah.
No, man. I'm
We
not
can't
bringing my
even-
PS5. I'm not
can't
bringing
even
my
think about that
exactly.
right
Nobody's
now.
gonna
Like,
bring
at this
it
point,
out.
like, don't even think
Bring-
about a PS5.
bringing a PS5.
Anyways.
Dude. Forget that. I mean, again, if it's like a Genesis or like a CEO, or like a CEO, the CEO type deal, Evo type deal, yeah, that makes sense. Like, if you go into like a car shop,
With the PS5?
you go to a car shop, you go into like in an apartment building with a PS5. Oh,
You might not be coming back to the PS5. That's all I'm saying.
It's coming back. It's coming back in pieces. Oh man,
It's a lot of liability.
Naj, do you have any plans on getting a console? Like, I mean, are you gonna wait a long time, or do you have no plans, or what's
I'm
up?
gonna wait a year just because I've never really been big on the opening because it's hard to get the console, and then I mean this generation is different. Last generation, I kind of felt burned because I never got, I got the PS4, but there were no titles for almost a year, so why not wait? But this
Mhm.
one, I might actually make the plunge earlier.
Mhm.
So I plan to wait at least 6 months, but I might be getting it, I don't know, as early as January.
Yeah, 'cause
Good luck.
I think it helps that there are so many good PS4 titles available to play. So even if you got a PS5 for a PS5 title, you can always go back and play a PS4 game you never got to play. So there's that. So, but yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think waiting is perfectly acceptable. I mean, I don't think a lot of gamers agree, but I do. So,
Well, it's not like I can go get one right now anyway.
Yeah. Good luck. Our local Best Buy said they probably won't have any on the floor until January at the earliest.
damn,
So
that's a little, yeah. So that's a lot of
yeah,
gonna be a lot of
wait.
disappointed people during Christmas time.
The thing that's really annoying right now is that like when I went to go pick up my PS5, they were saying the accessories were sold out, including the controllers. I'm just like, dude, the system just came out today. Half the people didn't even get like. How many people actually got one of these? Why is the stuff sold out? So I
Right.
can't get the headset. I can get a controller. Those are actually pretty readily available. But I want to get the headset.
Mhm.
But those are like impossible to find right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Speaking
yeah.
of accessories, are the fighting game or arcade sticks, are there any out for PS5 or is it backwards compatible there?
As of right now, they are backwards compatible. PS4 controllers work on the PS5,
Perfect.
and they actually work pretty well.
So they're USB ports, right? Obviously, they should be.
So there's
yeah,
there's three USB-A ports, like the regular USB ports, there's three of them, and then one
Oh, okay.
USB-C.
Okay.
There's two in the back and one in the front for the USB-As, and then the USB-Cs in the front as well.
USBs.
It's weird they don't give you like a USB-C adapter because the charging cord for the controller is a USB-C to like a regular USB.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't
Right.
like. I feel like they should just make the controller one like a two-sided USB-C cord, so it'll take up the USB-C spot instead of the regular USB port.
Yeah.
So yeah, luckily I have an adapter, so I've just been putting. That's what I have my controller in.
Okay, but this is good though, because PS4 sticks can work on the PS5. That's all I had to know because I got a PS4 stick. So this is amazing. This is good.
Yeah. So like one of the things I like about it. So when the PS4, like the fighting game started coming out for PS4, I had two PS3 sticks, and like they would work, but you wouldn't have like full functionality. So you couldn't like press the home button and all those different things. The PS4 sticks, you can navigate the menu and everything. So it works really well.
Uh-huh.
Seamless integration.
Right.
So yeah, you guys have any other questions about the PS5?
I do have a comment. I do love that we are finally going in the direction of USB-C because micro USB is the worst cable ever made. Free. Don't at me. This has been a topic that's been on my mind like for the last couple of years. Okay, micro USB is awful.
Let's get the rant.
This is the rant, dude. This has nothing to do with PS5 anymore, dude.
I've been waiting for this.
Anything with micro USB, canceled. Illegal, should be set on fire. The micro USB is the worst USB cable. Like, it doesn't make any. It's awful. Like if you even bend it, like just like a smidge, like even a little bit, so you don't even have to bend it. Sometimes all it needs to do is exist. And all of a sudden, it just don't work no more. Like, you plug it in, and you know how you gotta do that thing where you gotta like bend it at an angle to get it to connect?
Yeah.
Not cool, not fun. It's not okay. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I think I had a is it not? Oh, it's a okay. So my PS4 controller, I think it still needs to. It still has micro USB. So like I've had to connect my. It needs to connect like a third party or just like another USB cable to my controller, and I've had really bad experiences. I'm not even rough with my, with my hardware, with my gear, so sometimes I'll just come home and it just randomly doesn't work, like because the cable is screwed. Okay, so this is good. I'm so happy that both consoles, by the way, do this. They're both USB-C, so things are looking up, you guys. That alone,
Apple, get with the program.
Oh, yeah.
The Lightning USB. Is that what that is? Okay.
Yeah.
Lightning. Yeah. Have you ever had issues with that
The
cable?
lightning
before?
cables.
I don't know. It's been fine, but
That's good.
the USB-C is just so universal. It's not just for Androids.
Right.
Moronic Apple users.
You-
You have an Android charger. It's a freaking USB cord. Calm down.
Anyway, shout out to lightning cables too, because back when I had an iPhone, I never had an issue with that cable. That's a good cable too.
I have
Wait,
all
you
kinds
had
of
an
issues.
iPhone that was a lightning cable based? That's pretty recent, right?
Is it? I feel like. Let me see. Hold on. I feel like I had. Wait.
like
Naj, what
5.
issues have you had with the?
Oh,
the
just no, not iPhone, but charging cables.
Oh, just charging cable.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Charging
whole
cables in
it gets
general.
loose over the
Oh yeah,
years.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
I have never had a problem with a USB-C cable. Not a single time as a USB-C cable failed me, and
Oh yeah, those are the best.
it's just too good. The design is flawless. You look at the end, it's nice and flat. You have to try to bend it with the micro USB. Oh man, you take a plastic spoon and touch it. You got to get 3 more. Why do you think on Amazon they got like 6 packs? Because 5 of them are gonna break. PS5 / anti micro USB.
That's gonna be the episode title. Anti USB, micro USB, and PS5.
Oh, and the PS5, Oh my gosh, that is funny.
Yeah. So, what games are you guys hyped for that are coming out for
Eventually.
PS5?
Ragnarok.
Yep, that's the game that I'm waiting for. That's the game that actually made me buy my PS5. If they didn't announce that for 2021, I probably would have waited a little bit longer. But
Yeah.
they closed that last presentation with the God of War logo, and I was like, all right, I'm sold.
I've been there. That's all it takes.
I'll take man, one game.
I was just
One
thinking
game will
about,
make you buy a console, dude.
basically, I mean, that's the story of a lot of people's lives. What am I looking forward to? You know what? I'm gonna say this. There are a lot of games that I'm hyped for, but Final Fantasy 16 is what I'm looking forward to. I'm actually curious. I didn't play 15. I want to play 15 eventually. Might get it on PC, might not. We'll see.
I got a copy
It's
for
on
sale.
PS4 now.
You gotta.
Yeah. I got a
PS5,
copy for
I
sale.
mean. Just get a PS5 and get PSN Plus. You're good.
Just give me $5. You can have mine.
Hey, 15 trash.
It didn't meet my expectations
Yeah,
for like
hey.
2 reasons.
This is the anti Final Fantasy 15 podcast.
The tutorial was too long. And then I had to play the tutorial with my 2 younger cousins and my dad and my uncle. And Cindy comes on the screen, and I could just hear my uncle and my dad talking about, yeah, that's what they call gaming now.
No, dude.
Just to look at these young men with their game, I was like, oh.
You see it one time.
Time.
Every time. And when you watch anime, it's always the fan service scene. You know what I mean? Like, oh, man. Now I'm generalized.
That killed the vibe for me, because if I'm going to play it and like my dad walks through and he sees that game, he's gonna be like, oh, isn't this the one with the...
That's obnoxious. I hate it. I hate it so much. Anyway, whatever. I mean, it's just
the combat was cool, but it took too long. Like I spent, I don't know, 3 hours just killing random mobs and then pushing a car. I never loaded it back up.
3 hours? That's better than Grand Theft Auto 4. 4. I think that's 4. I think it's 4.
Wait, which
Liberty
one?
City, the one with Liberty City.
Wait. You don't like GTA 4?
I never really played it, but everybody's saying it took 10 hours to finally get good. I don't have 10 hours to get to finally get to a point where the game's like interesting to play.
You know what? That's now I think about it. While I did like GTA 4, yeah, I think I can see that how it took a while. Yeah, no, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, that's fair. I actually did like San Andreas way more than 4.
San Andreas is great. But yeah, like GTA 4, I didn't have my own copy, so that's another reason why it's like I didn't really get a chance to play it. But I don't like the drive controls in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it felt like it was too, I don't know, either it was too loose or too stiff in a way that didn't feel right. So
yeah, so yeah, we'll see. So Final Fantasy 15 or so 16, sorry. So 16, I'm curious. I know there's going to be a new Resident Evil. Even though I'm an absolute wuss when it comes to fighting games, I'm not. I don't even know if I can handle Biohazard. This Resident Evil 7, that just looks terrifying. I don't know about.
I heard 7 is like really good. Like
yeah, I'm
scary good.
sad thinking about it. I kind of like the third person because it's not as terrifying as the first person. Dude, first person Resident Evil. Why would they do this? So the new Resident Evil is coming out. I think there's a Harry Potter RPG.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Coming out. Yeah, the Harry Potter RPG. That's cool. Hey, Moss, if we both have a PS5, we can actually play something together, which would be kind of cool.
Finally,
right? Finally play
doesn't
something.
get Smash.
So yeah, I mean, if it's not Harry Potter, then it'd be like a fighting game or something. But that's always an option as well. Is that it? That actually might be it to me. I'm assuming there's gonna be a lot more announced. I'm just as hyped as everyone else, and I'm gonna be on the edge of my seat.
Waiting for Street Fighter 6, just because I know it's eventually gonna get there.
That's a whole
Street Fighter 6 needs to wait like 3 more years.
Whole nother podcast.
Even if I gotta wait 2 years.
Please wait 3 years. Please wait 3 years. They haven't even finished Street Fighter 5 yet. Let Street Fighter 5 complete. Still have what? How many characters?
Wait,
5 characters come out still?
Street Fighter 5 is finally it's finally a game at this point. It took a hot minute, but it's there.
Wait,
now
I
we
got
let
a question about that.
What's up?
Do I have to buy another season pass for this game?
Is that a no comment? Or
oh, you might have to.
Is that a no comment for me? To tell you the truth, I'm gonna get baited because I actually do want to play Rose because I've always liked Rose's design, and I feel like now that I'm older, I appreciate Rose a lot more. Austin will tell you straight. Austin will tell you firsthand. He knows about my Rose in Street Fighter 4. Next time you see him, like, hey, calls Rose, and he'll be like, "Oh man, I'm waiting half screen away." So I know Rose is coming out, so I'm excited about that. Oro, I don't think they've revealed anything, but Oro's tight.
That's the character I'm actually looking forward to the most right now for the next season pass.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Street Fighter 5, once they finish it, all the characters released, if they're done after this season, let Street Fighter get like 2 more years of 5 at least before you even announce 6.
consider a 6. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Let Street Fighter 5 actually get a full
Get some time with
lifespan.
with characters. Yeah. I agree.
Don't rush it, please, and bring out other IPs that aren't Street Fighter.
Yo, if they have Darkstalkers on PS5, I'm running out right now and getting it.
Oh man, Naj and Darkstalkers.
I'm lining up.
You're in there.
Yeah.
Oh. Morgan.
I just
Lilith.
like all the characters. They're all crazy. Like they got a skeleton from the UK.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
I don't remember.
And he has a guitar.
Yeah. Just got so many crazy characters.
Got a pedophile in there. Got Dimitri.
What's happening? This took a
This is the
a
most
wild
off
turn.
the-
It's off the rail. I was not ready. I was just like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah, if you know, you know.
I don't know.
Donovan, it's a joke about me and my friends make about Donovan.
Okay.
He runs around with the little girl next to him.
Fighting games always did have. I'm gonna say characters. But
Questionable
you know what I
things.
mean, like characters.
Questionable things.
They had some characters.
Yeah.
Have been interesting. So
I like anime where it's the 500-year-old that looks like they're 11 or something stupid.
that's the classic. I think that's anime in general, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, Dark Souls would be great. I'm interested to see what gets announced as far as fighting games go. I'm sure Tekken 8 will be getting announced within a couple of years.
Yeah, season 4 just came out, so that's I don't know how long they intend to ride the Tekken 7 train. I'm okay with it because I like Tekken 7, but I think there are since Tekken's been out for a while, especially in arcades, I think a lot of the hardcore players are clamoring for a new Tekken because they have been playing it for like 5+ years now.
And it's been like
4 or 5
a whole generation, basically, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
And I love Tekken, but I think it's fair to say that it's they're due for a new Tekken, so we'll see how this new season goes, and then yeah, and we'll go from there.
Oh, Tekken 6 from like 2007.
Yeah, Tekken 6 came out with the PS3, I think.
Yeah, so it's been basically one per generation. So Tekken 8 should be coming out soon.
I do want to see some more obscure fighting games, that isn't Marvel or Street Fighter. I
would like to see Bloody Roar come back, especially after they've had the copyright thing. I don't think it's going to amount to much, but that'd be
Bloody
great to
Roar
see.
is pretty sick.
Do you think it'll
Hope to see
come
on
to?
PS5.
Oh, you think it'll be PS5 exclusive? I thought it'd go to
think it'd be exclusive.
Xbox. Oh,
I don't think it'd be exclusive.
what's the Xbox exclusive fighting game? It was
Killer Instinct.
Killer
yeah,
Instinct.
Killer Instinct. Yeah, you can see another one of those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to make another one. That one did really well, especially for it being a game that hasn't been seen since like 1996, 7, 8-ish.
Well, if they're bringing back 90s arcade fighting games, I want that one that was the dinosaurs fighting.
Primal Rage?
Yeah, Primal Rage.
Primal Rage. I haven't heard that in
60 FPS, 4K dinosaurs duking it out.
Primal. Dude, I don't even. What is that? Oh my
Oh,
gosh! I forgot about that. I vaguely remember this.
My
Oh,
friend had that
they
game.
they really got dinosaurs. Oh man, they really got dinosaurs. Okay. Oh, what? There are fatalities.
Yeah.
What?
It was like the knockoff of Mortal Kombat, but with
That's it.
dinosaurs.
This man said Primal Rage. They really got dinosaurs 1v1ing. What? This is crazy, dude. I don't know. Yeah, dude. I hope they. Honestly, I'm trying to see that Naruto fighting game.
That'd be
Arc
dope, too.
Systems.
I would love to see that.
Me too. Naruto's very beloved. I mean, Naruto is very beloved. It really is. You know, like a lot
Yeah,
of
as
people.
much crap as I give Naruto, I would love to see a fighting game with those characters
Yeah,
if it was done right.
yeah. Even if it was One Piece, I'd take that one too. You know, I like One Piece. But yeah, I think, but Naruto would be so sick. That's just the fan in me. But
Yeah,
that's
I
something I
honestly
would
feel
love
like
to see.
Naruto might be an easier fighting game to make because
There are less
I don't think
characters.
you need as many. I don't think you need as many systems or like mechanics
Uh-huh.
to fit within like the anime, like to make it true to the anime, you know.
Right.
Versus One Piece, where you'd have way too many different systems that you have to worry about.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that'd be something that you want to rush into right now. I think Naruto, especially if it's complete, would be much better
Right.
way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Jutsus are a little more. I don't know, a little cooler.
Especially
It's pretty
if they
straightforward.
bring my boy Kimimaro back.
Kimimaro, that's your main in Naruto fighting game?
I'd like to see him come back in a fighting game. He was dope. I thought he was one of the dope characters.
Oh, I'm a Neji main free. I'm main Neji every time.
Sorry, he's dead.
Why everybody gotta bring it up every time? Like,
Spoilers.
It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who it is. Dude, somebody always gotta.
Kimimaro dead too.
Somebody always gotta come through and be like, "Hey, he's dead."
Hey,
Yo,
we gotta talk about Naruto on a different pod.
I'll be in the Discord. I'll be in
Words.
the Discord. They'd be like, I'll be talking about Neji, and then they'd be like, "Oh, he's dead now." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for reminding me." Thanks. Oh my gosh, not like this. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Well,
Man.
there's a lot to look forward to.
Oh yeah.
But the PS5 and the Xbox launches were very successful, if you ask me. They addressed some of the past issues with smaller libraries by letting players go back and play their favorite games or games that they missed. And then, of course, everything about them so far it's all pluses. Controllers feel good.
Hard drive space.
Yeah, except the hard drive space. Almost everything's like hidden perfectly. So if you haven't gone out and if you weren't lucky enough to get one, make sure you pre-order. Make sure, maybe not stand in line at GameStop. Call ahead. Check if they got it.
You can't call ahead if they're open, if they're closed, man.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Naj doesn't have a conspiracy theory about deliberately withholding storage space. Easy, right?
Easy. All right. That's an easy conspiracy theory because they've shown us time and time again they're going to come out with the PS5 Slim or the Xbox Extra or whatever.
We need a Pro.
With actual storage space. Because they want you to buy the console twice. That's not a conspiracy. That's good business.
The Xbox Series X Arcade Edition.
So whether you're getting the Xbox now or waiting for the arcade edition.
Either way, Microsoft wins.
But it's been a great episode. And I'm sure Moss wants to get back to enjoying the PS5. It's only been X amount of days.
Maybe it's only been a couple of hours. No.
Oh yeah, X amount of hours.
Maybe it's been 10 days. Maybe it's 10 days in the past. You know what I mean? Like, oh man.
Well, thanks for joining us, and make sure you get your PS5 or Xbox, and let us know which console you think is worth it this generation. This has been Whispering Tears, Westsidious, and Mossta.
Later.